The difference in advisors. Let's break some things down.
Push the weight and no flex. The live is 1 in the 6. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I'm going to be talking about things like this moving forward until this whole MTK, Pro Bellum, Daniel Kinahan thing eventually grinds to a halt, because nothing lasts forever. But I always tell people, man, time reveals all truth. And the man on this screen, nobody in media that I know, that I've spoken to, has even spoken to this man. Y'all can't even tell me how this man's voice sounds. He's been frowned upon. People have exaggerated about his business dealings. He's been given a bad rap. I know when the PBC came to fruition, I've spoken to a lot of people within the industry, or who claim to be in the industry, who claim to be heavy hitters in the industry. I had guys hit me up on Facebook back in 2014, telling me, hey man, the PBC is going to fail. They're going to fail, and they're in the red, and Al Haymon's just all bad for business. He used to be in the music industry. He's just a bad guy. Horrible for business. I said, really? Who are you? Why should I believe you? Because I'm looking at what the PBC's doing, and all I see is free fights on TV. Where if you didn't have an HBO subscription, you didn't even get to see boxing after dark once upon a time. You had to get European fighters shoved down your throat. You had good old American talent right here on our soil. So what's the problem with Al Haymon? And I had guys who claimed to be heavy hitters in the boxing industry leaving their name and number in a Facebook group and asking me to call them so they can explain it. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And take your phone number out of this Facebook group. People in here are crazy. Well, if you listen to my show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this man is an advisor. And the same fella that I'm talking about said that the PBC would be done 2 or 3 years or whatever. That was in 2014. We are now in 2022. Now, they could fold tomorrow for all I know. But every morning I've woken up, nothing. They're still here. In fact, how the mighty have fallen. I'm not even going to say the mighty have fallen. I'm going to say how things change, because of all people, 2014, who would have thought that Manny Pacquiao would be working with the PBC, which he's done already. Go figure that. Go figure that. So this thing with Al Haymon, how he's such a bad guy, and the PBC. Here's why I knew everyone was just full of nonsense. Way back when DAZN got started, I remember the PBC haters saying, "Oh, Eddie Hearn got $1 billion bag." Y'all remember that? Eddie Hearn has been in the business, not his father Barry, but Eddie himself. He came over here with that accent and that James Bond look. I call him James Caan. because he's full of crap. And the first thing I said was, this guy does not understand the American audience. He comes over here with shades on and he's trash talking. I said, that's not the American audience. What is your product? And I remember telling the people, I said, look, I'm about boxing. And if this guy has $1 billion bag and he could come over here and make some fights that we want, then that's for the betterment of boxing. I don't care who's running boxing, as long as I get the fights that I want. I clearly remember saying that. But do y'all remember what the focus was as to why people were saying, yo, he got $1 billion bag? Because followed up with that statement was them saying, hey man, he's going to buy up all the PBC fighters. And I said, why is the focus on the PBC fighters? Top Rank got some fighters. So he's coming over with DAZN money and he has Matchroom. But why the focus on all the PBC fighters? Why? First person I recall him talking to, and I could be wrong, I believe it was Adrian Broner. Bottom line, he said, I'm loyal to the soil. I'm loyal to who? This man on the screen, Al Haymon. Now, let me be very, very clear. Al's not perfect. Y'all know what I say. What happened to Deontay Wilder happened on his watch. And all of that's coming out. Like I said, what's in darkness comes to light. Time reveals all truth. All of that is slowly going to come out. This man's not perfect. Why the hell was Gary Russell, fighting here and there? What was going on with that? We still don't have no legitimate answers. But still in all, there's not a lot of fighters that say, yo, man, I don't want to work with Al Haymon. There's not a lot of them. In fact, was it not Martirosyan that said, yo, man, I should have never left the PBC. I want to go back. I think he said it on the air. He said it on the air. Why? Apparently, Al Haymon is doing right by his fighters. So much to the point where they actually sued Al for violating the Muhammad Ali Act. Look it up. Bob Arum. Remember when Bob Arum said, I don't even think Al Haymon exists? Remember he said that? It's in writing, man. Bob always talking. By the way, he's talking now, is he? Ain't he talking now? Huh? You talking now, right, Bob? You was just in Dubai, what, like a month and a half ago? Eating dinner with this guy, Daniel Kinahan, an advisor? He had over, 100, 200 fighters on the MTK? They all seemed happy. Was he violating the Muhammad Ali Act? Or were those names enough for you not to, you didn't care about those names enough to sue him? Because you couldn't make no money off of those guys. But you made money off of one guy. You made money off of one guy in particular. Y'all don't know who I'm talking about. You made money off of one guy in particular. You know who I'm talking about, dude. Yeah. You're a heavyweight champion. This guy, Daniel Kinahan, whom we knew nothing about until like a couple of years ago, and then we just started asking questions. And now we're in the phase of where we're connecting dots now. But Al Haymon's bad for boxing. There's now about over 100 fighters, over 100 fighters that don't have a home right now because MTK has to close up shop in 48 hours from the time I'm doing this video. And on the way out, Bob Arum, on the way out, threw Pro Bellum under the bus because Daniel Kinahan had his hands in it. Oh man, this guy's singing. This guy's singing. We don't want to deal with MTK. He told me that he did some horrible things, and then upon a further investigation, I don't remember the exact quote, but he said he's still involved in that shady stuff. Then magically, Tyson Fury has a homecoming fight in the UK, and Bob Arum couldn't make the trip because he had COVID. Nah, Bob, keep it a buck. You're safe on American soil. He can't get to you. You were afraid that if you took your ass to the UK, one of those Irish goons was going to put something in you. But smart move by not flying over there. Tyson Fury's on the ropes. And I firmly believe he's so scared that he don't want to deal with this crap. That's why he's not talking about Undisputed. He could beat AJ, and I think he could beat Usyk. Undisputed is not important anymore. No one wants to talk about Undisputed anymore. Fine. Let's talk about the WBC. Mauricio Sulaiman. The man in the middle, his name escapes me, but that's Daniel Kinahan on the right. Mauricio was just in Dubai a couple of weeks ago, and when they asked him about his dealings, he said, look, this guy's great for boxing. I'm not Interpol. I'm not the police. I'm dealing with him. I forgot his exact quote, but he says, I'm standing on it. I'm dealing with him, right? 2 days later after he said that, bam. There you go. $5 million reward for information leading to the financial disruption of the Kinahan criminal organization or the arrest and or conviction of Daniel Joseph Kinahan. Submit tips via email. I want you guys to understand something. This is some movie stuff. This is mind-blowing. I just did a video earlier today. Okay, Macklin can't travel to America. They stopped him. Why? Because he's been dealing with Daniel Kinahan. Then I'm reading somewhere earlier today that they're freezing all of his assets. I don't think you guys understand how serious this is. If they get that cold steel on this man's wrist, I am so curious as to what he starts spilling. Bob Arum already spilled it. For him to distance himself from him the way he did, who wouldn't take that personal? Oh yeah, you want to throw me under the bus, Bob? Okay. I can't wait to hear what he says, if anything. If anything. But who's he has to be loyal to? Hey Daniel, what else have you done other than the guns and the drugs and the human trafficking allegedly? All of that stuff. We got you for that. But what can you tell us about your boxing dealings? MTK, Pro Bellum. He might say the same thing about Bob Arum and Lou DiBella that Tyson Fury said about Shelley Finkel. Yeah, they were all in on it. I don't think that was sarcasm, man. There was a portion of what Fury said, a portion of it that wasn't sarcasm. He was dead serious. I refer to this as a grand scheme. And every day I'm turning on my phone and I'm seeing something in reference to this guy. This is the guy that was advising over 100 fighters for MTK. This guy. But guys like Rick Glasser could say, I'm going down with the sinking ship. He brushes all of this off as propaganda. So America's bullying this guy. America just turned their eyes on this guy. This guy's been hot for a while now. I saw the documentary. It was frightening. I said, wait, what the hell is this? This guy's involved in boxing? Seriously? This is what's happening? This guy's advising fighters? This is Tyson Fury's guy? And let me remind you guys, $4 million Bob Arum paid this man. $4 million. In what, consulting fees? Bob Arum is 90 years old, has been involved in the sport of boxing since before Daniel Kinahan was freaking born. What did he have to pay him $4 million in consulting fees for? What business could he take care of that Bob couldn't have had taken care of himself? The jig is up. What was that $4 million for? 4 fights under the banner of Top Rank. $4 million. That was $1 million a fight. I wonder what you was paying Daniel Kinahan for. I just want to know. Somebody in the chat, let me know. Someone in the comment section, let me know. I don't know what it was for. It looks very shady to me. And there's a lot of channels that are not American that are on this situation. They're on this guy's bumper. This guy's cold-blooded. So would you rather take advice from this guy or Al Haymon? Everything bad to say about Al Haymon. Again, they tried to sue him for the Muhammad Ali Act, breach, not breach, but them breaking that law. Aram and Oscar De La Hoya and these guys, no, didn't work. MTK Global has to close their doors in the next couple of days. Bob Arum has disowned himself from Daniel Kinahan and MTK and Pro Bellum. Threw them under the bus while he was on the way out. Mauricio Suleiman has been quiet since that $5 million bounty been put on this dude's head. So all of this stuff for this advisor, Daniel Kinahan, but all this smoke for Al Haymon, you don't even know how this guy sounds. Now, of course, no one's ever seen or heard from Daniel Kinahan, at least stateside. We don't know how he sounds or nothing like that. But we see the trail of destruction. And granted his history, it's not unreasonable to think that he was involved in some shady stuff in the sport of boxing. But I know Al Haymon's a bad guy, right? But let me give you an example. All right, while MTK Global fighters now looking for a home because they have nowhere to go. Josh Taylor has nowhere to go. He's stuck on Top Rank. MTK folded. Bud is moving to Bud is moved to 147. Josh Taylor's at 140. So now he's stuck. And y'all just got to connect those dots. He's stuck. I don't know what he's going to do next. Because he's not no super rock star in America. So Top Rank's going to have a decision to make as far as how they're going to promote him. We're going to see how much he sells. And I ain't got no beef with Josh Taylor. He's just caught up in this nonsense with this MTK stuff. But I see a lot of fans saying, yo, man, these fighters should have known what they were getting into. We're dealing with him. Okay, whatever. But then there's that with MTK and Pro Bellum and DeBella and Kinahan and Top Rank and all this, in the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman and all this chaos, and Al Haymon is chilling. And this is what one of his fighters have to say. Salute to Julian J. Rock Williams. Just closed on a 4-unit apartment building in West Philly. No cap. I really used to be homeless. So now that I get Al Haymon checks, all I do is buy properties. I think it's a defense mechanism. What y'all think? You know, this man's a fighter. All right. Hasn't won them all. But are you reading this? There's life after boxing. What he's doing is he's securing his legacy. Because once you get in that ring and whatever round it is and it ends for you, or you make it to the 12th, and you say, you know what? I ain't got it no more. What does he say? Properties. He buys properties. Al Haymon checks. These are things that fighters are saying about Al Haymon. Now, of course, you had MTK Global guys saluting. There's an MMA guy that's saluting Daniel Kinahan. Great. But look at them now. Let me know when there's a $5 million bounty on Al Haymon's head. Y'all let me know. So Al Haymon's all this bad for boxing and everything else. But not one peep from the people that were in bed with Daniel Kinahan, with the exception of Bob Arum, because he knows what time it is. He's a lawyer by trade. He knows what's coming. So he's singing. I mean, he's hitting Luther Vandross notes. Oh, chair, still a chair. Even when there's no one sitting there. But a chair is not a house. And the house is not on. You know the song. You know the song. That man singing. The difference between Al Haymon and Daniel Kinahan, there's no comparison. Let me know when there's a $5 million bounty on Al Haymon's head. Time reveals all truth. Bronx on deck.
Move!